Hi guys, it's Kayla, and today I'm here to talk to you about some of the reasons why I still, as a 25-year-old, read young adult fiction as like my favorite type of book. I wouldn't call it a genre because there's genres within YA, but why young adult fiction is still some of my favorite books to read. So I'll first start by saying I technically think I still count as someone who should be reading YA. I am a young adult. 25 is not that old. I mean, yes, I am a legal adult, but it's not that old. So I would argue I am still a young adult. So it's not completely out of the realm, but I think when people think of YA fiction, they think more of like high schoolers. And for me, it actually started in middle school because I was reading at a college level by the time I was 11. So by the time I was in middle school, it was like my parents had no choice but to let me read high school books. So for better or worse, I've been reading YA fiction since I was like 11 years old because I had to read. So that kind of ties into the first point, I guess, is nostalgia. It's been something that like I've always enjoyed. A lot of what I'm reading right now during quarantine is some of my favorite YA books from growing up. I've reread Twilight, I reread Hunger Games, I'm rereading Divergent right now, I'm gonna reread Harry Potter eventually, so I'm kind of going back to some of my roots. So it's nostalgic for me. Sometimes I just enjoy going back to books that I know I really enjoyed and reading them again. There's a lot of other things. The next one is the fantasy element. YA fantasy books are a lot better than adult fantasy books, to be honest. I think that's probably for a lot of reasons, because those who traditionally read YA genres, so teenagers, still have a more active imagination than I think a lot of adults do, and so the books are written for them in a way that's so vivid that they can completely picture the world, because that's what teenagers' brains are wired like. So it's just more vivid and I really enjoy that. So the fantasy is just way better. Another big reason is YA fiction fits my schedule so much better. Adult fiction books can get really long. Or even if they're the same page length as YA fiction, the words are smaller and it's like denser content. So it takes longer to read. I'm a very fast reader, don't get me wrong. I can still finish an adult fiction book like real quick. But it fits my schedule easier to reread a YA book or read a new one because I can finish those in like 3 hours. Which I know, I read scary fast, it's terrifying. But that's kind of a big reason. This is the fourth reason? Am I on number 4? Yes. The fourth reason is movie tie-ins. I'm a sucker for a good movie adaptation. I always read the book first. That's a lie. Not a complete lie. The only time I've watched the movie before I read the book was 5 Feet Apart. Honestly, I just didn't know it was a book when I saw it the first time. I've now since read the book and the book is better than the movie. And I tend to agree with that on just about everything. So I just enjoy that. I love getting to see something come from page to screen. I think that's the actor in me and director in me. That just is something that I am so passionate about. I mean, it's definitely the director in me. I would love to direct a YA adaptation movie. That's like a bucket list thing. So yeah, it's that fun like element of seeing something go from page to the screen. And even if I'm disappointed, I still enjoy it. So there's that. The next thing is the like, this is gonna sound weird, like the Innocence, which is like not to say there aren't some like borderline raunchy YA books. There are some things I definitely read that I probably shouldn't have read in junior high. Or I'm like rereading books now and I'm like, this is only an AR level 5th grade and I would not let a 5th grader read this. Granted, again, I probably read something like that in 5th grade. But it's just, I don't know, it's more plot oriented. Relationships are more actually relationship oriented. And like, don't get me wrong, I am a typical 20-something woman. I enjoy a raunchy romance novel as much as the next woman. However, it's kind of refreshing sometimes to read something that has a romance storyline that doesn't lean into the typical adult romance storyline like format. So that one's kind of a weird one. But it's true. I like that they're a little more innocent, even though some of them I'm realizing are not as innocent as I remember. I'm like, I read this when I was 15? What? So, just things I'm realizing now as an adult rereading all these things. And the last reason is a big one for me, and I don't think I realized it until recently, like within the past couple weeks. The fact that I still read YA fiction gives me an in to connect with my students. For those of you who don't know, I am the Director of Education of a theater company. I teach theater classes, I direct plays for youth. And so a big part of my job is working with kids, working with teenagers. And we are able to connect on our mutual love of specific book series. I use this as an example, and I talked about it in Thursday's video. Or Thursday's video. I did a live stream with my students, like I do at least once a week during this lockdown. And we ended up just talking about books, and like we started talking about Harry Potter, and we started saying like, okay, favorite book versus movie, and what do you think they messed up in the movies? We had this whole big conversation about that, and then we moved on to talking about The Selection by Kira Cass. And a kid like sent in a question, because you know on Instagram you have like the question boxes, and one of the questions that popped up was, okay, but Miss Kayla, Aspen or Maxon? And I was like, I love you guys. I love it. So it's just another entryway to connect with them, and I think right now a big part of what I'm interested in is finding connections to my students now that we're separated and not creating theater together. And the fact that I read a lot of the same books as them probably helps. So those are just 6 of the many, many reasons why I really, really still enjoy reading YA fiction. It may make me weird. I don't care. I read more nonfiction books than I read any fiction anymore, but when I read fiction, I gotta go for a good YA book. I got to. So, if you want to see some more of my opinions on YA fiction, head over to my Instagram. Today's IGTV video is my top 5 favorite YA books or series. So head over and check that out. If you want some more hot takes on books, let me know. I can film so many videos about books. I think I have 2 like book hauls and 1 book review on this channel. I haven't done very much, but I love books. I read a lot. I have my, I'm calling it my COVID-19 TBR, which right now is 68 books long and continues to keep growing. So I'm definitely reading a lot right now, and I can definitely do more videos about books if that's something y'all are interested in. So let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, please come and join us. My name is Kayla. I run this YouTube channel and the website StyledByKaylaXO.com. I talk about just about everything going on in my life on the internet and upload videos 2 to 3 times a week. So please come join us. We'd love to have you. Click that subscribe button. All right, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.